Yeah, let me tell you something interesting. Okay, when I was 20 years old, no? When I was 20 years old, um, I would spend, or let's say even 16. I love to go to the gym, to lift weights. Obviously, as you see this superhero movies and Arnold and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rambo, Rocky, I see them, they have muscles. So I also wanted muscles. And obviously, as you see bodybuilding videos, so I wanted muscles. And yes, when you're strong, you feel good. And I used to think girls like muscles. And obviously, peer pressure with friends, and your muscles are bigger than your friends, and so you think you're stronger. Okay. So I used to literally whole day try to go to the gym or play with friends. When I was in my 20s, I would go to the gym sometimes minimum 1 to 2 hours. Now obviously I'm not doing all out crazy ass exercise, but it was pretty intense. I would do weights like which were almost my body weight and double. Today if I do it, my joints will burst, my joints will just break. I've told you, right? I used to do leg press for 310 kilos, and that's a lot of weight. Full squat 225 kilos, and for chest 150, 130, like, that kind of range. Okay. Which is not good for the joints. It's not good for the joints. And yes, I was taking steroids and all that. Okay. Not only that, I would spend money on supplements, creatine, protein powders, glutamine, BCAA, energy tablets, energy drinks, protein shakes, and I would buy bodybuilding belts, bodybuilding knee wraps, gloves, and yes, I used to go and train in the gym. So time, effort, money, planning. I used to keep a journal, I used to write down my workouts, and then I used to watch bodybuilding programs to motivate myself. Okay. But then obviously from there was other hobbies like girls. Oh, I liked girls a lot. Ooh. Girls were very important. I needed them to like me. There's more than sex. It was the thrill of the chase, that I could get a female. That would make me feel like, wow. Imagine you're a guy, not very rich, but you can get 4 or 5 girls. You're dating with 6 girls at a time. So, and imagine I used to get girls those days, even when there was no chat. There was no internet. There was no Facebook. I used to still get girls. How do I get? Oh, don't ask. But I used to get. Okay. But then obviously when Facebook came and all that possibility and probability just exploded. So I'd get many girls, and so gym, girls. And obviously to impress girls, you need to buy stuff, right? But I would buy stuff for myself, like perfume, like nice, cool outfits, even, sexy underwear. Oh, make sure that your body smells nice. Make sure that you have perfumed, bath, bubble bath, and cream, love cream, and love gel, and erotic stuff. Ooh. And yes, I used to even sometimes try, okay, if I take Viagra, can I have sex more? Can I make her orgasm more? And that crazy stuff I've done. Okay. The amount of girls that I would get, I realized was proportional to how much time I spend. And I would spend the whole day, not exaggerating, the whole day chasing girls. Either I'm on the phone chatting, or I'm making calls, or I'm going someplace to meet the girls, or I'm hanging out where there are girls. 24/7, girls, girls, girls. So gym, girls. Then obviously, given that I wouldn't spend money on girls, so I had to have something, right? So for me, it was the gift of the gab, ability to talk. So I realized if I would show them I'm smart, they would fall for me. So I would read books, strategies. Those days, Google was not as developed as it is today. So I'd physically buy the books, read, learn. Okay. So that was my phase, bodybuilding and girls and all that. This continued until I guess I found another hobby, that was Toastmasters, public speaking. And there all of a sudden I would win prizes, awards, trophies. I was getting to be famous. I was getting more girls, more fame, more attention. Who didn't want that? This continued until, I guess I realized you need money to succeed, to gain respect. So I focused my attention on money and power. I didn't give a fuck how would I get it. That's where I made a lot of bad decisions. And then it went to my head, ego, with testosterone and muscles and manliness. And finally it all came crashing down in 2011. The video about my suicide. I lost everything. Then obviously, when I realized, okay, I've lost everything, friends, money, girls, fame, success. Okay, now what do I want? And I looked deep within and I was like, oh, I want to live a life which is purposeful. Okay, nothing spiritual, means what I want. And obviously the first thing is money. Without money you can't survive, right? So needed to get back on track. Eventually had to start focusing on being serious, but there were distractions. Still there were girls, still there were. Then finally one day I decided, okay, move to Thailand, which was never in my plan. And then I had to re-evaluate my goals and priorities. And again it changed. I was like, okay, now being famous in UAE doesn't matter. Chasing girls, sleeping around with girls, having sexual partners doesn't matter. I was into triathlon, marathon running, swimming. I would literally spend, I'm telling you, I would spend what a person's salary was. I would spend 2 months' salary just on this. Roughly, to give you an idea, let's take it as a ballpark figure. Say around $2,000 a month, 2,000 on supplements, food, training, the missionary, gym, coaches. And this is just, I'm talking of the money. In terms of time, 3 days a week, 3 full day, from 4 o'clock morning, from the time I would wake up, right up to the time I'd sleep 10 o'clock, full day, nothing but training. I think I've given the video where I explained my regiment of how I used to train. It was insane. 3 full days a week only training. The cycle that I had, the triathlon cycle, was $15,000, man. Just imagine that. US dollars. It was engineered and custom built to my body. Okay, I did all this crazy stuff. But I realized after I decided to come to Thailand, this marathon training is not going to help me. This swimming is not going to help me. Cycling is not going to help me. Because they are not priority. It is good for health, but it's not priority. Bodybuilding and gym is not going to help me. Girls is not going to help me. Trying to be famous with people in Dubai is not going to help me. So I had to revamp, reconfigure, recalibrate all my goals, priorities. And now I'm at 45, 46. So what are my goals and priorities today? Yes, it is to make money. That is without a doubt. But to make money doing what I love, not what I don't love. That is number one. Number two, my priority is my daughter. I need to focus on her. I need to focus on my wife who gives me everything. I need to focus on our future. There's nobody for them. They are not earning. I have to take care of all of them. And yes, peace of mind, health. Today I don't go to the gym. What's the use? Who am I going to show muscles? Fitness, I do by walking. I don't cycle. I don't do marathon running. Slow running I do. I don't do swimming. You know, once upon a time I used to spend almost $1,000 per month on perfumes. Not exaggerating. And this is at the age of 20. Salary? Spend on perfume. Dracar Noir and Givenchy and Paco Rabanne and Davidoff Cool Water and name it. So buy, spray. Once upon a time, if a girl wanted to meet me, I'm not exaggerating, I was staying in Ajman, which is one corner of UAE. I should take a taxi to drive all the way to Abu Dhabi, which is nearly 200 kilometers away, just to meet a girl to sit and talk to her. Because those days there was no internet and video chatting. Because my priority was what? Girls. Today, if a girl comes down here and is telling me, there have been incidents. Girl has actually come here and said, let's meet up for coffee. I know what coffee it is. I said, no, I can afford my own coffee. I tell them, you have to pay money. $5,000 if you want to sit down with me and talk physically. Nobody will do that. Yeah, there are one or two who have done that. Not girls, but clients. Whether you believe it or not. Anyway, that's a different story. See, the point I'm trying to make here is, every phase of your life, every phase, every 5 years or so, your priorities will change, your focus will change, your goals will change, you will change. And if they have not changed, you're a fool. Seriously. If your goals, your priorities, your focus, if they are not changed, you're a fool. That means you're not evolving. Okay, that doesn't mean if you have a business, your priority should be, oh, it's no longer this business. No. See, we change with time. For example, my mentor, Gabriel D'Souza, who was CEO of a switchgear factory. He still is, I think. He used to work literally 20 hours a day when he started it. 20 hours a day. And he used to work as a technician and, manual labor and all that. However, after he got married, he stopped working as a technician. He said, no, I need to show I'm management and need to spend time with my wife. I'm not going to work 20 hours. I'll work maybe 16 hours. And then finally, when he had his daughters, he worked maybe 12 hours or 14 hours a day, not 16, 18 hours. But then finally, I remember this one particular day when there was this offer that he got for business collaboration, where they would set up a new venture, and this would take his business and make it grow like 4 to 5 times more. The turnover, the number of people, the revenues, everything. But in order for this to succeed, he'll have to give his next 10 years. And that time when I think he was 57. And we were close to signing the agreement. And he would have been the biggest in his, in that area, the biggest. Imagine we went for months and months negotiating, and he just had to sign it within a few days. And lo and behold, on the day we were supposed to, just a few days before, he told me, Loy, I have decided not to go ahead with that. I was like, why? I was like, come on. we can become the biggest and number one and this and that and money 10 times over. And what he told me, I never forgot, He said, see, Loy, in order to break even, I'll have to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'll have to do it for 10 years. Today I'm 57. By the time I reach this goal, I'll be 67 or maybe 70. My daughters, from being 15 years old, they're going to be 25. And by the time they have to get married. He's saying, if I spend the next 10 years of my life in the office, I'm not going to see my daughters grow. I'm not going to see them, I'm not going to spend those best years of the life with them. And by the time I'm free, they would have got married and gone off. And what am I going to do with all this wealth? At the age of 70, what am I going to do with all this money? I have enough and more money that if I retire today, I can live maybe 2 generations comfortably. I have enough and more money. I have enough and more money that me separate, my wife separate, my 2 kids separate, we all can live as kings. It's not like kings, but very luxuriously. So how much more money do I need? I just kept quiet. I didn't understand. I can tell you honestly, I didn't understand why didn't he want it. But today when I look at it, today when I think about it, I understand what he meant. Like they say, when is enough enough? Like Bernie Madoff. I read in that book, The Psychology of Money. I'm still reading. Bernie Madoff, when he resorted to his Ponzi scheme, he was already a multi-millionaire. He was earning, I think, 5-10 million easily, I think, per day, I don't know, per transaction, whatever. He was minting money, millions per day, millions. But he wanted to be billions. And for a multi-millionaire, he still cheated to get big. In fact, there is this guy from Goldman Sachs who was an Indian guy, was born into abject poverty where he didn't even have money to buy food. He became the CEO of Goldman Sachs, and his net worth was $100 million US. Even after that, in that book is written, he still wanted to become a billionaire. And he started doing not so legal things. One of the illegal things he did was insider trading, which would just help him bag, I think, $14 million. He broke the law. He sacrificed his reputation. This for $14 million, even though he was worth 100 million. Why? Because his goal was to become billion. And he lost everything. Means he lost his reputation. He still has the money, but he lost his reputation, his career, everything. I'm not saying that you should not have big goals. Fine, you want to make your billions and trillions, and that's up to you. Each one has a different goal. I would lie to you if I would say that I don't want to make at least a couple of millions before I retire. I don't know when I'm going to retire. But the main point of this video is our priorities, we as human beings, our value system, our choices, our preferences, everything changes with time. And my theory is every 5 years, we have to recalibrate all our goals, all our priorities, ourselves. Because every 5 years, on an average, say 3 years, just give a round figure, like 5, 5, 10, 15, like that, easy to calibrate. We all change. So my end question to you is, which phase of life are you right now? How much have you changed? What are your goals today? And how do you think they're going to change tomorrow? If you have a rough idea of this, you're good. But if you have no idea, you better you better be worried, because you're headed nowhere. It's like a ship floating in the sea. There's no waves, there's no wind, it's just there. There's no anchor also. Wherever the wind takes, wherever the waves take, the ship will go. Your life will be like that. You're just going wherever life takes you. Then in the end, one fine day when you land somewhere, you'll be like, fuck, why am I here? And by the time it's too late. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts. You guys take care.